Live from Center City in Philadelphia, this is Fox 29 News at 5.
Oh, put me in cold. I'm ready to play today. Put me in cold. I'm ready to play.
You know, not every child is cut out to be the next Ryan Howard, the next Donovan McNabb, even the next LeBron James. So there's a new youth trend in youth sports leagues. Non-competitive action. It is designed to let every kid play. Now, how the leagues work, it's very simple. They usually have several levels. Older kids can play in competitive or non-competitive groups. For the younger kids, it's all about playing the game. And that means not keeping score. Everyone plays and everyone gets trophies. It's how the Lenape Valley Indians play, and the coaches say it's a winning program.
We try to use the younger levels, just like younger grades, to really build a foundation for the game and have them learn the game. Really not focusing on the true aspect of the game of winning a championship until they're able to understand it and really comprehend it. Once they get to that level in 5th grade or higher, we focus then on trying to make sure they're competing against skilled players.
And the coaches in that league say it keeps kids wanting to play. But as they continue to play without having to know what it means to win or lose, ride the bench, have to work hard to become a starter, all those things, are we doing our kids a disservice? Joining me now, licensed professional counselor Tricia Ferrara, Matt Cord from WMMR. Matt, let me start with you. On the surface, this looks like a pretty good program.
Yeah, but you know, Tom, it's competitive sports, okay? So right away, you're competing. You have to compete. You have to keep a score. You have to have substitutions. It's not a recreational sport where you're like fishing or hiking. It's competition. And that does, you know, whatever the age is, you have to start with competing.
Tricia, what are the benefits of this program? Why do you think this works?
Well, I think what Roy Halladay just said in the previous segment, when that guy's out there, he's going to be working on his fundamentals. He's not going to be distracted by winning or losing. You know, just because a person wants to win doesn't mean they can win. We've got to go back to making sure these kids have fundamentals so they can be boxers instead of street fighters and have long careers. They have minimal injuries, and that they can play at a higher level, a more elite
Tricia, you mentioned Roy Halladay, and I'm sure you'll be watching the Phillies this weekend. You'll be watching the Giants, and all 25 guys in each roster got there because they were pushed competitively. They were driven by parents. They were driven to succeed where losing wasn't accepted. You're going to watch these professional athletes who are good.
You bet. And what they're going to rely on, they're not going to be worried about winning and losing in the heat of the moment. They are going to be relying on the fundamental skills that they learned. It's not going to be about winning or losing. You don't want to see Ryan Howard in the batter's box wringing his hands about whether he's going to win or lose. He's going to rely on his fundamental skills.
Matt, can't you make the argument that this is how these kids got there?
Well, you know, Tom, I mean, losing at a young age, it increases the kid's self-acceptance. You know, to let a kid know that losing is okay and to be disappointed is okay is only going to help them later on in life, because that's what life is all about when you think about it.
Trish, do you buy that?
Well, listen, at some point, yeah, let them go to the rodeo. I'm all for it. But not until they have set in place the fundamental skills that are going to help them when the chips are down, when they're performing.
Tricia, let me ask you this, and it's not just sports. All right, my daughter's in 3rd grade, just won a spelling bee, beat out other kids. Here's a 3rd grader that was 8 years old that beat out other kids there. So what's the difference if you're on a sports field or taking a spelling bee or a math test?
There's no difference. That's why we teach our kids the ABCs, and 1 + 1 is 2.
But you're setting competition levels.
It's okay. I'm not saying competition is bad. What I'm saying is that there are opportunities where it's easier to teach a child fundamentals earlier in life than it is later. Later on, you have to take a
But where do you find that? But where do you find that? Don't you find that through sports, through those activities?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why let's take the competition and shelve it for this stage. Let's teach them the fundamentals so they're not distracted by winning or losing. And then, like I said, let's let them loose. And yes, let's teach them how to lose gracefully. Let's teach them how to win gracefully. I mean, at the end of the day, let me tell you something. As they get older, you could not take the competitive piece out of adolescence. If we could, we wouldn't have half the problems we do today.
Matt, you see spoiled brats in the NBA all the time. You're around these guys all the time. Does she have a point towards that end, that maybe we start teaching the wrong lessons too early?
No, Tom, maybe it's just, sports isn't for everybody. You know, if you ever saw the movie School of Rock, Jack Black, he has the kids sing and they have the kids that play guitar. The kids that can't do that, they do other things in the movie. They're PR, they do audio, they do wardrobe. You know, sports isn't cut out for everybody.
All right, Trish, final thoughts are yours.
But at the end of the day, we got to get our kids moving their bodies and back in touch with their health. And this is a wonderful opportunity to have that happen for all of them.
All right, Tricia Ferrara, Matt Cord, thank you for coming in tonight on the Fox 29 News at 5. We will continue with our news right after this.